Youlden just got away with that one. We'll go back down to
the guys, we've got a major issue here for car 9. Youlden's having to come out through the window. They can't open the door. Major issues there. There was damage from that contact earlier in the race. They were concerned about this.
In other words, a genuine lap record. Remember, Murphy at that time in the shootout, but you can't get a lap record. Oh, look, Youlden has half-looped the number 9 car. Oh, has he got it bogged? I was about to say he may have saved the day here by not getting in the gravel, but did the rears go in? And can he get it out? He was only one lap away from stopping. They asked him to, oh, you know, he lifted his foot off the brake pedal and rolled in backwards there. Can he get it out? Oh, yes, out of jail.
That was lucky. He was under pressure from Bhagwana, and I thought I heard a call for Scaife to come in.
That lap around for Craig Lowndes, a 1:36.51 for Garth Tander. Zinger replay shows Youlden locking it up, going straight ahead. Todd Kelly behind him gets a face full of smoke and darts off to the right. 3, so there's no surprise that Lee Holdsworth has rounded up car 5 and Scaife goes with him.
That car that Luke Youlden's driving is really taily at the moment. Every time I look at it, I see him having to put opposite steering lock on to catch it. And that's hurting him. Oh! Well, and there you go. Oversteer at just the wrong moment, and that's massive damage. That's game over for the Ford Performance racing car today. So, just as I spoke about oversteer, it jumped sideways at the rock face on the run up to the cutting, and Luke Youlden has made heavy contact in the pole sitter's car, and that's going to put them back in the bunker and delay them for laps. They're out.
He was suited up and had the helmet up. Watch this.
There's the oversteer moment, and that's massive contact. If there's not other stuff busted, bent or broken under there, I'll be surprised.
Looks like we've bent a wheel for sure. We need a bit of a report on the rest of it. It just feels like the wheel.
So that was Campbell Little in conversation with Luke.
And the Gold Coast 600 is underway. Good start from McConville. Jacques Villeneuve finds himself squeezed in the middle of the track, but he pops through. The 97 Formula 1 world champ under attack straight away. Luke Youlden has hit the wall.
And front left steering damage for Luke. It's going to have to come in that car, so it's all over for him very early in the piece.
And there goes Villeneuve. He's spun around in the Botolo entry. This will be carnage. Whack! Oh, it's dodgem car stuff.
That was willpower into Villeneuve. Look at that. Cars everywhere. Have you ever seen anything like this?
That was 2 FPR cars together there too.
Okay, mate, settle down into a rhythm now. Keep going.
That's the original damage from Will Power's car. Will Davison is locked up in that. Car 10 as well.
That's Mika Salo.
Flag, safety car boards and flags. Safety car move out onto the circuit.
And there's an unsurprising call.
I've never seen anything like that.
Look at the mess down here at turn 4.
But it was actually caused by Luke Youlden with Villeneuve.
This is race control. That's race director Tim Schenker in the middle. It's at the top of a shock absorber on the left rear.
It's pretty bad, so they'll be there soon.
It's game over for that car, and that's 2 race meetings in a row, and you can imagine the thoughts in this garage here.
Wow.
Where do they start?
Here we go.
Yeah, he might have got a bump. Yep.
So that was Luke Youlden on the inside of him in the SP Tools car.
This weekend in his native New Zealand, the V8 Super Tourer title. That is Luke Youlden, who was setting some quick lap times. He clangs the wall at turn 5.
Well, head operations, both Tim and Jeff are here this weekend having their... Oh, and the problem for this man, I was about to talk about him. He was talking about a vibration when I heard him about 2 minutes ago. He said, not that there's anything you can do about it, but there's a vibration and we've got too much understeer. Well, the headache's got bigger for Luke Youlden. He's bogged. He's bogged in the gravel down at the chase, and this might be game over now for Luke Youlden. What a tragedy. This may be our first safety car.
Safety car boards and flags. Safety car boards and flags. Safety car stand by.
Year 2 together for the combination. He couldn't stop it. Big lock-up in front of car number 10, fired off the road. Luke Youlden, Fabian...
to get temperature into those tyres. Well, conversely, Luke Youlden's gone off leader of the race. He had a 14-second margin, so he does have a cushion.
but that's costly. Can't have too much of that. Now, Prema, by comparison, has just been passed. He was 24th fastest, and there's a little bit of contact. So Dumbrell's speedy down the inside, and people are being encouraged to use what you describe as the go-kart line. And Prema 24th fastest on that last lap. So that is a mistake that halved the margin for Luke Youlden from 14 to 7 seconds. This is the battle for second and third, and Dumbrell has just played his way into the game.
Exactly. Now, the guy that we shouldn't discount, this is the replay now of Luke Youlden under brakes for Murray's corner, the final corner. There's the tram tracks that you can see. Just there's a little bump there, and that little bit of trailing water across there caused him to lose adhesion in the braking zone. He spun it around reasonably quickly and come back out of the escape road pretty quickly, but as you said, it halved. Wood was very close. What happens also, especially there when you hook the, that's a hit, that's a big...
That's over and out.
Yeah, mate.
Youlden, that's a hit. Or broken upright, has it?
That's had big contact with the wall. I'm guessing at turn 11 or maybe at the back straight. We'll soon find out. Oh, he's come. It's in the back straight.
He's got to turn around. This is sideways and in the fence. You're lucky that it didn't spin at that point because he was right out sideways. Oh, sorry. So it's hit the back corner and that's fed the front in. So that is always a trap when you hit the fence like that. If you've got any right-hand lock on, it grabs the front of the car and forces it back into the fence. So that will be over and out for that car. There'll be substantial damage. We're on board now. Just have a listen. Okay. Oh, and lucky he didn't go in the left-hand fence. I've been saying all weekend, the worst-case scenario is if you hit that fence there and you go over to the left, over to the Queensland side. This is on board now with Canto. Check this out. Oh, and as I said, it's so close. There's a little bump actually at the end of that for Canto with Youlden. But normally they'll fire across to the left-hand wall.
Back to Garth Tander. So Garth's done. Oh, and that's trouble. Trouble for Penrite and big damage on that car.
Okay, mate. Copy that. You okay in there?
So Luke Youlden, red flag.
Thank you so much longer for this.
That is big.
Big damage on that car, all down the right-hand side.
That's parked between Reed Park and McPhillamy by the look of it.
Just before where Larko was.
And yeah, that's where it is. So it hit the fence at Reed Park.
Middle, great.
Yeah. And that is so easy to do.
Now, he'd just done, I just talked about him doing a very fast sector split, and then it was quickly eclipsed by Tony D'Alberto, and then in turn the faster lap done by Garth Tander. So that will have happened about 300 or 400 yards prior, and this is a big setback for Erebus.
Remember, this team have had the fastest Commodore up here for the last few years. David Reynolds with that fatigue, cramping at the end of last year.
2016, he did that with Shane Van Gisbergen. Now Luke Youlden's gone off in car number 9, and this is the car that Mark made reference to colour-wise in the studio a few moments ago, sporting the colours of the JTS BMWs and celebrating the wonderful career of Jim Richards, who is a true legend of the sport. So for some reason, early in the days, Lukey's fired off down here. So we've got the replay up to have a look at exactly what's gone on. Cold tyres at Sandown and a slippery curb, but it's very easy for that result to happen at turn 4.
Job, James Moffat. Now this will pick up the Youlden one. So it was because Kostecki's had a little dive. Ah, that makes sense now.
Oops. So that one will need to be examined up at Cam's race control. So for Luke Youlden, it's pretty catastrophic. So here's the replay from his vantage point, the rear bumper. Pretty solid hit. So Jake's giving him a whack. Luke wanders off into the weeds, which becomes the mud, but in the process moves from